Final moments of the news. Sunday morning, 2019. Start it there.
All right, 9:43. When I come back, I will detail rain, heavy for most, but ice, significant for some. Details next in my first alert forecast after the break.
I just prepared myself as if I had to read a tease right there. Of course, I did not. How fun. We are in the final moments of the news for the Sunday morning newscast here in 2019. This camera is very bright and I'm very shiny. Super exciting times here. Is there anybody at the web? Stella? Is there anybody at the web? No, right? It's later. Huh. So it's a fun Sunday morning. I'm filling in today on this Sunday after Christmas before New Year's Eve in the midst of Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. Up bright and early, not tired, so I'm very thankful for that. Not thankful though for like the broken nail that I got this morning that like really hurts. I broke it as we were going into the news. So if you happen to see me on TV with this weirdness happening here on my finger, that's why. Sorry. But yeah, we're doing the news. It's exciting. Hope you'll watch. We're going to go to the kitchen in a second. I'm excited about that because after Darren does the weather, we're going to be making soup. Chickpea soup with kale and Parmesan. So I think that'll be tasty. It'll be an interesting thing. The last time I filled in on the weekend, we were in the kitchen. We made the best mashed potatoes that I've ever had in my entire life. And then I made those mashed potatoes for my family's Thanksgiving, and they were a hit. So tune in. Chef Jamie, he's not going to disappoint. He makes some really things that sound interesting on paper. Then I taste them, and I'm like, oh, this is like magic. We should eat this all the time. So, yeah, we're here in the newsroom. I'll show you. I'm on Facebook Live. Sorry, the little people in my ear are asking me who I'm talking to. Anyway, a look at the newsroom. Darren's over there getting ready for the weather. We're 30 seconds out. It's the weekend, so it's quiet here in the newsroom. Quiet. This is my little perch. The voice of God up above, you hear that, said, be quiet, and then said, hi, Facebook. All right, there he goes. Hi, Facebook. Meteorologist Darren Sweeney. Happy New Year, he says. All right, I'll show you the magic of television as soon as he starts talking. We're on.
9:46. These are the areas of concern north and west of Hartford and north and east of Hartford. The northeast hills, northwest hills for the first alert that we had issued. And to go along with that, the National Weather Service has issued a winter weather advisory for most, but an ice storm warning for the northern half of Litchfield County. What does an ice storm warning mean? Well, that's generally speaking when over a half inch of ice accretion or the ice buildup on trees, power lines, that sort of thing is expected. And that's why they hoisted that ice storm warning for northern Litchfield County, because that is where the focus point of the ice looks to be. So let me show you
So
here. You see
exciting.
some of the ice to the north and east, and the focus of the ice to the north and west. And when you zoom in here, you see some of these numbers. These are numbers that are kind of eye-popping when it comes to ice buildup or ice accretion on trees and power lines. You get about a quarter of an inch of ice. You notice it. You notice it on the trees, the glazing of the trees start to sag a bit. You get a half inch of ice. That's when the trees not only just start to sag, but you start getting branches that start coming down and some isolated power issues. You get upward of between a half of an inch and 3/4 of an inch of ice, and that's when the tree limbs start coming down at the power lines. And anything over 3/4 of an inch of ice, closer to 1 inch of ice, that's when you start getting entire trees that start coming down. I don't think we're going to see that as a widespread issue, but these are numbers that we have to watch closely as we move generally speaking, under a half inch of ice, but that's still pretty significant. So the impact is fairly minor. And again, some areas will see that moderate impact between half inch, 3/4 of an inch. That's when the tree limbs start to sag and break, and that's where we start to see some of those power issues. There could be 1 or 2 towns that get close to or just over 3/4 of an inch. And that's high impact stuff. So stick with us here at NBC Connecticut throughout the course of the rest of tonight, tomorrow, and we'll get you through it. And of course, have the latest on our NBC Connecticut app and NBCConnecticut.com. Temperatures not overly cold this morning. Temperatures generally into the 30s with a 40-degree temperature in Stonington. Clouds are thickening up. I think we're mostly cloudy with some rain developing in places like Waterbury as soon as 5 or 6 o'clock this evening. So today is actually a pretty decent day if you're doing any traveling locally. Temperatures into the low 40s, 39 in Torrington, 39 in Stafford, 42 in Middletown. 5 Ursula Doppler scanning clear. Any sunshine is on borrowed time as the storm continues to move on in here. The main storm going through the Midwest. If you have any connections for air travel through the Midwest, they're having some big issues in terms of delays. But for us locally, about dinner time, the rain moves in. It becomes heavy at times. And again, freezing rain is a concern north and west and northeast. If you hear pinging on the windows, that's sleep. That's good. Sleep does not cling to things. I say sleep pings, freezing rain clings. So hope to hear the pinging. The more pinging you get, the less ice buildup on the trees and power lines. And that's what we're trying to work out just to the north. Western Massachusetts, central Massachusetts, hoping that they get more sleep than freezing rain. Tomorrow, 30s, windswept rain, not a nice day. But all this wraps up very early on Tuesday. Tuesday evening, New Year's Eve plans looking excellent. The weather-wise down, the weather stays quiet, not only for New Year's Day, but beyond. And notice the lack of cold air on the map here. We've got 40s near 50 toward the end of next week and the start of the first weekend of 2020. That's the very latest from here. Leslie, back.
All right, Darren, thank you. Straight ahead, we are heading into the NBC Connecticut kitchen to whip up a flavorful soup. Taste of Today is next. Kitchen was not there, but you know, I prepared. So here we go. All right, guys. So now we're going to the kitchen. Darren, say hello to Facebook again.
Hi, Facebook.
Guess who's watching? The legendary Jerry Brooks.
No way.
Good morning, Jerry. We are off to the kitchen. Soup time. Soup time. It's the final Sunday morning of 2019. I'm trying to train myself to say 2020 because, you know, like when the new year starts, then you forget.
Or is it 2020?
2020. Like Barbara Walters. Hello, everyone. Say hi.
Good morning.
We're here in the kitchen. Chef Jamie is here. Hi,
Oh,
Chef.
look at you.
Final taste
We
of
are
today.
on
Is this
Facebook.
FaceTime? Is that what it's called?
No, not FaceTime. Facebook Live. Do I go on still on this side?
Be in the middle.
In the middle. Okay. All right, I'm going to turn
Unless
this
you want to
around.
mix it up there and whatever you want to do.
Hopefully.
What's going on with your hand thing? Were you,
Oh, I
are
should
you
not
mobile?
touch anything
You
because no, I would. You can do that. I'll stand on the outside. How about that? And not do the touching. My finger
But
just
no,
is like
he's
jacked
the
up.
player. You got to be the. you
Wait,
don't have to
I gotta
play.
participate.
Just hang in the middle.
Oh, just hang in the middle. Okay, all right. Hold on.
It's
I'm gonna
not
turn
a
the
big
camera
deal.
around.
You lost it.
Hey, real quick, just the rundown of exactly how this goes again. Remember, the camera is there, guy. All right, so I'm gonna.
Taste of
We're gonna do Taste of Today, Chef Jamie, and then you're gonna do a final with the chef. Okay. And
Hey,
then.
Darren, give me some mic check.
Hey, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can check the
All you
keyword
have to
taste
do is pour it.
today.
Bro.
Mic check
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Yeah,
I need to open that. All right.
X.
So wait, you're gonna do the recipe, and then I'm just gonna say you got one more check of the weather.
Yep.
We
Okay.
already did X.
And then we'll wrap from here.
Wrap.
The end. All right.
No, move what you got to do. Yeah, thank you.
Face the back. Okay. Thank you.
This thing doesn't fire up until we're ready to go on. I swear, it has ears. It has
The
ears.
refrigerator's making me.
You should always hit the brake or.
Sounds super helpful. New Year's resolution early.
They also call this holiday order party or
Welcome to Taste of Today. Darren and I are here in the kitchen to be healthy for the New Year's. This is a pretty healthy
Getting a good
recipe,
start.
right? We're talking about chickpea soup with kale. Everybody's favorite.
There you go. Yeah, all those keywords. Chickpeas. Good, but some people don't realize at a holiday party, when you have a gathering, one of the most nicest things you can walk into is a crock pot with really good hot soup. Small little ladles and servings, and just start your party with that. So it's sort of like an hors d'oeuvre thing too, as well as healthy soups. So let's begin. So many great soups begin with what we call mirepoix. And I hope my students are paying attention at Prince Tech because we are starting soups and stocks and broths. It's like the beginning of the real training. And then we're going to go a little bit of carrot in there. Generally about half as much carrot as you do. I get that out of here. Somehow a little bit of water got in the oil. It's live TV. We'll be okay. Anyway, what we're going to do is just cut little sticks. What we want to do is just cut basically about half as much carrots in relationship to your onion. So I've got a little bit of celery. Very easy to cut, but you can overdo it with celery because it's so fun to cut. But you want to go 50% onion, 25% carrot, 25% celery. Oh yeah. So let's get it cooking. So now we'll be safe once you get those veggies in there. What we want to do is basically get a little pinch of salt, basically get that going. And that needs to cook just for a couple minutes to the point where this down gets nice and soft. So I'm going to let that go for a minute. What is the next ingredient though? And why are we doing garlic after the vegetables? So we have a nice clove of garlic. I lop off both ends. I crack it just a little bit, and it makes life easy to peel. I know there's all kinds of hacks on these, video sites. But and you go crazy when it doesn't work. This always works. So basically we're going to cut this fairly fine. Basically, in the event we don't want to fully puree this soup, we have our choices. You don't want really big chunks of garlic in there floating in there, so you do need to chop it. So this would need to go for a couple minutes. Pretend about 3 or 4 minutes went by. They smell really sweet, really good. Add your garlic, cook that for another 30 seconds or so. And then goes what we call the main ingredient. In this case, chickpeas, can drain, whether you want to cook fresh, your own, that's all good. Listen, you can do the next part and dump in enough liquid, pretty much just dump the whole thing in quickly. Enough liquid just to cover the main ingredient. Now, again, it's great to measure everything. I don't always break out the measuring cups. With types of soups like this, add enough liquid to cover all those vegetables. That's usually a good place to start because if you puree and it's too thick, it's easy enough to add a little liquid, So you let it cook away. So if you see this one has basically been boiling, we're going to buzz this now to become a partial puree. We have our total decision right now whether you want to keep it as a broth soup, you want to put leftover, grilled chicken in it, whatever, and that's good. But being that it's kind of cold, Darren kind of gave us a little bit of a semi, So I want it like a little bit stick to your ribs. So if you just buzz this just a little bit, it'll get a little bit creamy. Soups like this always get thicker upon sitting too. So salt and pepper, but Darren, you got the cheese right next to it. So let's now make it taste really, really good with some Parmesan. Yep, so you can put some in there.
I do it wrong right now.
You are, but that's okay. But this is live, it's all fun stuff. But here, the kale I have chopped pretty small. That's good. You're going to get salt flavor from that, by the way, too. So the kale I chopped pretty small. It wasn't really an adult kale, so this doesn't need much time to cook. But bottom line is that wilts in there. Keep it nice and fresh. This would always be kind of the last thing you do. So if you're doing it for a party, into the crock pot, dump it in shortly before people get in there. It will get tender just sitting for a couple minutes. So let's serve it up. So we got a nice little bowl here. We got some country bread, but again, serve little espresso cups to your guests if you want to do for a holiday party. It's all really, really good stuff.
You were calling this what before the holiday setup? Just a
Well, you could just call them soup shots.
Soup
You
shots.
know, little hors d'oeuvre. Somebody walk in, just have a little shot of soup. And if you're not into piecework with hors d'oeuvres, like one at a time things, this is easy. You make a pot, you serve a little bits at a time. So it's really cool. Yes, he knows how to garnish. Darren's my garnish guy.
It looks good. It looks great. If you want check out the recipe, keyword taste, and on our website, nbcconnecticut.com. Hey, First Alert Future Radar, there you go. We've got the rain moving in this evening, and again, the concern is some of that prolonged freezing rain in the northwest hills, even the northeast hills. It goes right through tomorrow, so we're going to see waves of rain. Tomorrow is not a nice day, but the good news is it's all out of here by the time we head toward your New Year's Eve festivities Tuesday night and Wednesday. Looking much better.
Face the Facts is next. Have a great Sunday, everybody.
Bye-bye, everybody. Happy New Year.
Clear.
Face the Facts and soup coming up next.
So this way.
Thank you guys for
I
watching.
know,
That's the end of the
actually, people
news.
do it both
Bye
ways. I
bye.
normally just